Hi friends, this is Suzy, your Candy Crush guru. It is December 26th, 2024, and I'm here to talk about the Winter Cup. In order to participate, we need to start playing and qualify very quickly if we intend to move on. So let's learn what it is, what the prizes are, what the requirements are, and make decisions about whether it seems beneficial for us to do so. All right, so here are the rules. There is a qualifier stage going on right now. You need to finish in the top 5 of your leaderboard to enter the first knockouts. So that's not too tough to do, especially because often these have only 10 people on the leaderboard. So you just have to be in the top 50%. If you make it through there, the first knockouts, you have to finish in the top 3. And for the second knockouts, you have to finish in the top 3 again. But remember, here you're just competing against people who made the qualifier stage. In the second knockouts, you're competing against people who were in the top 3 of their first knockout rounds. And then we get to the final stage. You need to finish first in your leaderboard to be a winner of the tournament and win a year's supply of gold bars. Basically, I think 100 gold bars per month is how they've run it before. Here are the schedules. So it is the 26th of December afternoon for me, and this runs until the 27th at 3 a.m. Eastern. So I have a little less than 12 hours to compete in order to make it onto the leaderboard and see if I win. If I do that, then I'm not obligating myself, but if I want to go on, I need to also participate between the 28th of December and the 31st of December. So on the day of New Year's Eve, like I would be staying up until 3 a.m. and then of course I would be waking up at 3 a.m. and then I would need to stay up until midnight if I intend to ring in the new year with my family. So yeah, that's a bit tricky for me. Wow, I could stay up until 3 a.m., participate, and then go to sleep, and then wake up sometime in the middle of the day and stay up past midnight. If I construct it that way, I guess. All right, so that's tricky because that's right before a holiday. And then the second knockouts, they start on January 1st at 3 a.m. So 24 hours later, they start again, and they end on January 4th at 3 a.m. Eastern Time. I am now Eastern Time, so these are all correct for me. You have to calculate based on your time zone when your games would end. And then the final stage starts on January 5th at 3 a.m. and ends on January 7th at 3 a.m. And you have to claim your gold bars within 24 hours if you win. And then every month you need to sign in to collect your 100 gold bars for that month. So, gosh, that's a big time commitment. Rules, groups, and objectives. For the qualifier stage, players will be randomly put into groups of 10 players. The top 5 players in each group who match the most blue candies will win in-game rewards and a place in the next tournament stage. So even if you don't plan to play the entire game and make it to the final stage and compete heartily against everybody else, you might still want to play just to earn some prizes. Just whatever they give out. It doesn't hurt. If you're not investing too much time or inappropriate times, like if for your health you really should be in bed by 10 o'clock every night and you're staying up till 3 just to earn a few prizes, not a great decision. It says for the first knockout stage, players will be randomly put into groups of 15 players. The top 3 players in each group who match the most blue candies will win in-game rewards and place in the next tournament. So it doesn't sound like people who are lower than 3 get any rewards. You have to get into the top 3 to get a ticket. It sounds like you also have to get into the top 3 to get any sort of prize, but sometimes they do give out prizes. Sometimes what they put in the rules isn't the entire story. I'm not sure. And then look at this. For the second knockout stage, players will be randomly put into groups of 45 players. So not only are we competing against people who have already made it into the top 3, but we've got 44 other people we're competing against who made it that far. and they must match the blue candies to win in-game rewards and place in the next tournament stage. And for the final stage, players will be evenly distributed across 2,025 final stage leaderboards. The top one player per leaderboard will be a tournament champion and be rewarded with a grand prize, a year's supply of gold bars. So my strategy for some of these lower levels is usually to hold off. Just wait until the very end, jump in, and then I'm competing against the slackers. I'm just stuck onto a leaderboard with other folks who have just joined, and nobody's trying really hard. And then I just put in a minimum amount of effort and boom, I win. But every time you advance, the likelihood of that happening grows less. Easy to do for a qualifier. Harder to do for this. Really tough for the second knockouts and probably impossible for the final stage. And I'll tell you why. For these others, it sounds like they'll keep opening leaderboards until people stop joining. So if I'm the last person to join and there's no leaderboard, they'll create a leaderboard for me and then I will win that leaderboard. I'll be the only one there. And I'll still qualify and make it through. For the final stage, they don't do it that way. They create the leaderboards first. And the first person who joins gets put in the first leaderboard, and the 2,000th person who joins gets put in the 2,000th leaderboard, and presumably when they get to the 2,025th person, all of the leaderboards are filled, and then that 2,026th person gets put back in maybe leaderboard number 1. Or maybe they do it in groups of 10. I'm not exactly sure all of the logistics, but I know that the leaderboards are set, and so the people will start playing right away, and holding off just means that I'm behind. So for the final stage, that's a really rough one for me because I don't want to sit there and play for, 2 days and just keep trying to increase my score because I'm nervous because other people are increasing their scores. I tend not to participate heartily in these leaderboard games, but sometimes I do. We'll see how it goes. Those who reach the top 10 but do not win also receive some in-game rewards. So here they're saying for the final stage, even if you're not in the top spot, you will get something for being in the 9th or 10th spot. Final stage prizes players will receive rewards based on their final position on their final stage leaderboard. The first place will receive a year's supply of gold bars, gifted 100 gold bars monthly for 12 months, and 1 party booster, 2 UFO boosters, 2 Lollihammers, 2 free Switch. Second place will receive 1 party booster, 1 UFO, 1 Lollihammer, and 1 free Switch. Third place, 1 UFO, 2 Lollihammers, 1 free Switch. Fourth and fifth place, 2 Lollihammers, 2 free Switch, 1 striped brush. Wow, the striped brush feels like it should go up here. Like, I'd rather be in 4th place, maybe. I don't know. Although the party booster is actually the best one, so I can see. I'd rather be in 4th place, I think, than in 3rd place. And then 6th through 10th place will receive 1 Lollihammer, 1 color bomb, and 1 striped wrapped. Very minimum. In order to claim the year's supply of gold bars, winners will need to log into the game monthly between January 8th and the 31st of December to claim them. In order for winners to claim their rewards, they will need to log into the game, so on and so forth. They reserve the right to change things. It says, be aware of, each group must have the requisite number of people. In order to be assigned to a group, it is important to be punctual. By entering the game as soon as possible, once the event has started, you will be more likely to be assigned to a group that can start playing earlier. So I had said, and maybe erroneously, I had said that if I am the last person to join and the other leaderboards are all filled for the qualifier, they'll create a new one for me. They say they won't. Now, previously they have said they wouldn't, and they did. I have been on incomplete leaderboards in qualifiers because I've joined very late, and I was still able to advance on. So there's a difference between what they say and what they have done in the past, and it's hard to predict what they will do in the future. Are they going to abide by their rules, or are they going to abide by how they conducted themselves before? We don't know. So you each need to make your decision what you want to risk. I'm comfortable risking it and not proceeding through the other events. I don't have any problem with that. So it says, you can play offline, but your points will not increase until you log in. Once you get online again, any blue candies that have been matched while offline will get synced. It is recommended that you play online where possible so that your points can sync in the applicable time frame per stage. If you go online to update your points outside of the scheduled time frame per stage, they will not count and you may not qualify for the next stage. Let me also tell you that sometimes people say, I was playing and nobody else was playing and I had, 100,000 blue candies and I thought that was going to be enough, and the closest person only had 30,000 blue candies, and then within the last 2 minutes somebody whose name I didn't even recognize had 200,000 candies and blew me out of the water for first place. It's possible that people will play offline and they will wait until right before the event ends, and so it's tricky, it's deceptive, you can't tell, but it's okay. I mean, they're not cheating by doing that. It's risky on their part, and it is frustrating for those who have experienced that, but that can happen. It says, unless the laws of your country of residence state otherwise, the laws of England and Wales will govern the interpretation of these rules and apply to claims for breach of it. If there is a dispute between us regarding these rules, then that dispute will be subject to the jurisdiction of the courts of England, unless the law in your country of residence allows you to choose the courts of that country for dispute. Any additional rights which you may have as a consumer remain unaffected by these rules. So, pretty straightforward. Now notice what's missing from this. You don't have to be 18 to play. You don't have to live in a particular area to play. Although, I will say that King gives different things to different people, and so there are some folks playing in some countries where they just might not even get the option to play this winter festival game. But if you are able to play, nobody's going to check your age. If you're 8 or 18, doesn't matter. You get to play if you want, and your parents allow, and you're not, staying up late and missing your tests in school because, the parent in me is saying, just be responsible. For kids and adults, just be responsible with your time. All right, so let me see what's going on. I'm going to bring up my my profiles, and we'll see where I am in this leaderboard. So here's the Winter Cup from one of my profiles, and this is the one I will likely try to compete in if I choose to compete. And the reason is I haven't started yet. I am not on any leaderboard. That means that I can go ahead and play any level, a new one or one of these old ones, and it's going to count toward my accumulation of blue, and I haven't accumulated any. So once I join, then I should be put on a leaderboard with other stragglers. All right, now I'm going to bring up my other profile because by playing games, I inadvertently just jumped onto the leaderboard, wasn't intending to, and we'll see what that looks like and where I am, which I'm sure is very, very low. So here I am. It says I'm in 8th place on the Winter Cup qualifier, and there are 11 hours left. And I look, there's 11 and a half hours left because it's 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on December 26th as I'm creating this. And the person who is in 1st place has 78,000. 5th place only has 15,000, so that's not too much to do. Oh, and it says how long ago they were online. That's interesting. But these could climb over the next 11 hours. I have 982 blue. Oh, isn't that nice? So what I want to find out is there any advantage to playing new levels? What happens if I play an old level versus a new level? Are there any multipliers? Because sometimes if I play level 1000 and I get 100 blue, I'll be awarded 100 blue. But if I play the current level I'm on, a new level that I've never beaten before, and I get 100, sometimes there'll be a times 10 multiplier. So instead of being awarded 100 blue, I'll get 1,000 blue, or a times 30 multiplier, so I'll get 3,000 blue. So it's really advantageous to play new levels if you're not at the top of the levels and you still have some new levels to play. So what I want to do right now is I want to check that out for you. Let me see. Okay, so finish that level. Let's see what happens with the blue. Oh, I'm on the streak challenge. Daily win. Nice. Okay, but tell me how many blue I got. Times 30. Did you see that little times 30 multiplier there? So you earn more for playing new levels. You get 30 times the amount you otherwise would have gotten. So if you have the opportunity and you really want to pursue this, play new levels and you will get a better return for your time. All right, that is it for me. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put those below. Let me know if you're participating in the Winter Cup. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.